Hey guys, welcome back to some crypto. In today's content, I will talk about BTC. We'll take a look at BTC on a 3D basis regarding these moving averages, crossing bullish and bearish and all that good stuff, and what type of price action we could anticipate over the next like a few months or even like a few years going forward. Okay, the overall market sentiment, it is still bearish, as you can see on our 3D EMAs, right? These EMA, they still pointing down, so it is hard to basically get any positive momentum on a macro level and all that good stuff. Okay, so we'll take a look at BTC at the same time on a daily and on a 2D basis, because we got our 2D MACD crossing negative right now. It already crossed negative, so we will see if we will get a strong negative crossover. Okay, we'll also take a look at the 3D time frame to see if we will get a negative crossover on our MACD, because bears will need the MACD to cross negative for any higher probability, right, to retest like a 17-18k area, right? But going back to our 3D moving averages, okay, these moving averages and nothing but our 21 EMA, right? The yellow line, it is our 21 EMA. The blue line, it is our 50, and the red line, it is our 100 EMA. So whenever they cross bullish, right, you can see BTC tends to be in a macro bull trend. Back in summer 2012, after we crossed bullish right here, we pumped nearly over like a 22,000%, right, and pump all the way up to like a 1100, 1200 range. Okay, and after we crossed bearish right here sometime back in fall 2014, BTC dropped right there nearly over 70%, right, to just find the bottom. But after finding the bottom, as you can see right here, we did not pump straight up. What bulls basically needed to do is like just to wait for the next bullish crossover right here, just like what they had back in summer 2012 right here. Okay, so after the next bullish crossover back in, let's say last quarter of 2015, right, sucker pump all the way up to like 20,000, over like 6,000% gain. Okay, another bearish crossover right here, summer 2018. Okay, so it took another basically nearly 3 years basically to get another bearish crossover, and BTC dropped another 65%. Okay, similar to the previous bearish dump after the negative crossover right here back in September 2014. So, and you can see right here we got another bullish crossover right here back in first quarter of 2019, and we did not pump a lot, right? It pumped like just about like 170% all the way up to 14k, and basically retraced down, moved sideways, and got another bullish crossover right here. But overall, if you want to take a look at the 4-year cycle, right, after the bullish crossover, you can see like it pumped like over 10x. Okay, nearly over 1100%, 1200%, depending on how you want to look at it, right? Right after the bullish crossover. The reason why I mentioned the 4-year cycle is like after the bottom right here, right, the next peak was the next peak was supposed to be sometime in 2021, right? So, and we got that peak in 2021, so we respected the 4-year cycle. The previous cycle was 2017. The previous cycle before 2017 was 2018, and so on and so forth, right? As you can see right here, right, 1100%, 1200%. So what we could expect, right, is like, can we get another 65 to 75% dump below this area right here, right? We already got 60% dump. Can we get 70% dump? Because we got 70% dump in our first quarter, in our first bearish crossover right here. Okay, back in late 2014 right here. On the second bear market, right, we got right around like 65%. Right now we already got 61%. Okay, so could we drop more than 61, 63% and all that good stuff? That's possible. Okay, so these moving averages, they can basically tell you where the bottom is, right? But they can tell you if, okay, if the bear market has already begun. So it's not gonna predict like the bottom, but they could predict what the next the next bull market. So whenever we get another bullish crossover at some point down the road, right, I don't know when we're going to get it, but it could be anywhere in Q1, Q2, or even like a Q3 2023 and all that good stuff. Okay, so if we get these moving averages, right, lining up just like that, at some point down the road, right? Just like that, right? We could expect, right, the next bull market, right, to start. So that's basically all I'm trying to say regarding these macro moving averages, right? Crossing bearish and crossing bullish. So if you're expecting BTC to bottom already, to bottom somewhere around like a 17k, 18k, you could also be right, okay, saying like, hey, we already dropped nearly 60%, over 60%, right? From here we dropped already over 62%, and our previous drop, okay, after the negative crossover right there, it dropped just by like a 61%. So we could say, hey, it is a good time to be buying BTC, right? Around like a 18k, 17k, if you basically want to wait for the next macro reversal, to the upside, up to like 150 to 200k and all that good stuff. So I wouldn't be too bearish, right, on the macro level, right, around like a 18k or even 20k. Okay, it is still a good level for the bulls to start like accumulating BTC for the next like a macro scale. I'm not saying, once again, 17k, 18k going to be the bottom and all that good stuff, because based on the strategy right here, you're not looking for the bottom. All you're looking for is like the macro reversal, meaning like these green shaded areas. Okay, that's what you're looking for the next like a big pump to the upside, right? So now let's go ahead and dive into the lower degree and all that good stuff. So if we take a look at BTC on the lower degree, we talked about it like last week. All right, what we said was like on a daily basis, if we cross negative, if we cross down right here, okay, and our MACD at the same time on a daily basis, let's take a look at the MACD. And at the same time our MACD crosses negative right here, right, we could expect, right, BTC to at least retest the trend line support right here. And if you take a look at it, not in terms of trend lines, right, if you do a swing low up to swing high, right, we got 50% pullback right around like a 21k, give or take, right? So basically that this range right here between 50%, right, up to a 382, we were expecting BTC to find some consolidation right here before the next move. Okay, so MACD on the daily, it is still negative, so nothing positive as of now, right? And as you can see right here, we still below our daily 21, so I don't see anything crazily bullish for BTC, even though we at support right here. Yes, bears got to show up with some good volume in order to basically drop the price. The volume is not very high, right? Bulls still fighting and buying the dips at the trend line support, right? But in the short to medium term, bears, they still in control. Okay, so something to basically keep in mind. If we get any cheap shot to the upside, we could expect like the daily 100 EMA, that's our red line right here, to basically intercept the move to the upside. So keep that in mind. Even though, you know, the trend is down, if bulls want to take a cheap shot, bears could basically wait for the daily 100 EMA. So it is not a day trading setup, so something to keep in mind. We talk about the short right around like 24k, right, when we talk about BTC on the 3D basis, right? So in the short to medium term, the trend, it is still down, but bears still got to put a stop loss. If you short it at 24k or higher, just put a stop loss, take profits right here, and let the market do the work. If we drop down to our lower boundary, somewhere around like a 0.786 down to a 0.888, make sure, you know, bulls, bears got to make sure to take some profits before bulls decide to show up somewhere around like 17 to 18k and all that good stuff. Okay, so now let's take a look at BTC on the 3D basis. On the 3D basis, one of the reasons I said to be cautious right here on the daily basis is like, if you take a look at the 3D basis, we're still not crossing negative yet. So we got to be very, very patient on both ends. If you're bullish, you got to be patient. If you're bearish, you got to be patient. The reason for that, once again, the 3D MACD is not crossing bullish. I mean, is not crossing bearish. Okay, it is bullish, right? So bulls on the 3D basis, right? Regarding the 3D MACD, they basically controlling the MACD. They're not controlling the daily trend, but they're controlling the MACD. Could they lose control of the 3D time frame, possibly yes. If the 3D MACD crosses negative, we definitely could see a lower, some lower prices. Okay, we could see like the 3D MACD giving us a possible double bottom. I'm not sure if we will get the double bottom right here and create some sort of a bull divergence and all that good stuff and try to push back up. So that's the setup I'm looking for over the next like a few weeks and so on. It could take a while to get the next reversal to the upside, but we will see if bulls going to show up right here and basically create another positive MACD somewhere around here. Okay, it doesn't have to be that way neither, right? Because if bulls are pretty strong and bears with some high volatility dump the price very fast, MACD could do something like that. So it doesn't have to give us a very elongated dump, something like that. Okay, so something to basically keep in mind. So now if we take a look at BTC on a 2D basis, right, the 2D MACD is already negative, so we were waiting for it. And once your 2D MACD is negative, right, you got possibly like in a bear trend, okay, you could possibly get like 80 to 90% chance, right, to get your 3D MACD to cross negative. But still, okay, you can never guarantee it, right? Price action will follow your analysis, so you just got to be very cautious and wait for the confirmation and all that good stuff, right? So the 2D MACD is negative. It is not a strong negative crossover because after we cross negative right here, price action, it is still moving sideways. And if you recall on a daily basis, we talked about it like a couple weeks ago, right? When we got the negative crossover right here, what I said was like the negative crossover on the daily is pretty weak and price action is above the daily 21 EMA. So I did not trust the negative crossover right here. So on the 2D basis, I do trust the 2D I do trust the 2D negative crossover, but as I said, right, it has to give us something like 8%, at least 7% dump, right, to give us a high confidence level. Like we could drop much lower and basically get the 3D MACD to cross negative right after that. Okay, hopefully it makes sense, right? And we will see over the next like a few days what will happen, right? If we're going to be bouncing back up, right, to the daily 100 EMA, or if we're going to be dumping down to the low 18,000 or even $17,000. Okay, we'll talk about 16K. If we drop down to $18,000-$19,000, we'll talk about the probability of retesting 16K on a macro level. But as of now, I just want to focus on as low as 17.5, right, 18K range, and the daily 100 EMA. So if you're already short, once again, just have to suck it up and put a stop loss. I don't have any bullish setup as of now, but anything can happen, right? And bulls could show up at any given time. So you just have to be very patient with the trend, whether you're bullish or whether you are bearish and all that good stuff. Okay, all right guys, so don't forget to hit the likes, don't forget to join the public Telegram group, link in the description. You can also join the public Discord group or the premium Discord group, link in the description and all that good stuff. All right guys, thanks a lot for watching.